Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Music with FloCheer. Today, we're joined by two very special guests, the creative mind behind some of the most iconic cheer music, Patrick Avard, also known as Cheer Music Pro, and the coach of cheer sport Great White Sharks, Jake Streeter. So, welcome, you guys. How are you guys today?
Doing
Hi
awesome.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
great.
This season, if the people haven't heard or not, Great Whites just made a huge move to all girl to co-ed. So I can imagine there was much needed changes when it came to the music. So what kind of vibe did you guys have to bring in to make this big change?
Man, I was actually really shocked. Great Whites has been such a staple in that international all girl open division for so long, and they've had such success. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. When Jake told me that was probably one of my biggest surprises of the entire season.
Yeah, it's really crazy, honestly. Like when we first made the decision, like there were so many people who like didn't really agree or like didn't want us to do it or were just worried about what direction we would go in and what that would look like. Obviously, this team has been around for so long and it's been run by such strong, um, creative and talented women. So them being all girl was a lot of people really didn't ever expect us to make that jump. But I think we were all just kind of ready for a change, and really when we sat down to look at the rosters and what that might look like for this season, it honestly really made sense, and we had some really great and really talented kids in our program, some males, and um, we really thought about it. And we were like, you know what, honestly, let's just do it. Let's jump in head first and let's go with it. And it's honestly, I'm so happy we did it. It's been really great so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. And there's a line in the music that now there's boys in the Sharkhood. I love that line. So how'd you guys come up with that?
We're just trying to find fun ways to introduce the change. I always like whenever there's a shift in division or something that's of historical significance for that particular team or brand. I like you only get one shot at kind of putting that in the music and playing off of it. So, we wanted to put that right in the beginning of the music, so when people listen to it, it was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be different this time. So yeah, that was probably my line. And I texted Jake and asked him who his favorite rappers were, and he sent me a list. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to use that for inspiration. And we kind of like did a mashup of like sound alikes of his like favorite rap vocalists of all time.
It's really funny actually. I didn't want to send. I was away in our Ottawa location doing choreography whenever Patrick sent me the mix. I was in the airport, and I didn't want to send the mix to the kids because I want to be involved in that. It's so personal to me. So the kids were like blowing up our group chat, and I sent them just like a little snippet of the mix, and that's the part I sent them, and the kids were like dying. They were so mad at me. I wouldn't send them the whole mix, but yeah, I love that part. That was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like it fits perfectly. And there's also a lot of fun other ocean inspired words in the song. So there's like cannonball and whooshes and all these other fun things. What was kind of the creative thinking behind those, I guess, adjectives that you were putting into this track as well?
Well, so um, I love comedy movies, and I'm a big fan of Anchorman. So that's kind of where the inspiration for the cannonball line came from. I just thought it'd be really funny, and we actually made that voiceover before I saw the routine. But then when I saw the routine with the rewinds, and they're actually, they kind of like ball up and go to the top, I decided to put it there, and it just turned out really funny.
I know this is the first time this team's been together. So, do you think that this season's music reflects the personality of the athletes on these teams?
Oh my gosh. Yes, like when I first heard the mix, it's just so powerful, and it's like for me personally, it's so personal. Like this is my second year head coaching the team, but really the first year where we really just get to create something so different. Al has been, the fearless leader of this team for so long. She's created this insane legacy. So for her to, entrust me to take this on and also with Stamper, it just meant so much to be able to get this mix and for it to have so many great pieces in it. It's just really personal for me. So yeah, it's the team this year is so strong and powerful, and like they have guts, and they have, they're like honestly fearless. And I'm just so excited for people to see the routine with the music, because it's just like I like to say it's magic. Like this team is so strong, and they their passion for what we do and their craft is so great and so strong. The music just it just brings it to life. It's like a perfect mesh. So I'm really excited.
Just to add on top of that, like you know, I, I mean, it's cool to hear my friend and my client say that the music that I make matches the personality, because I don't really know the team. I never get to
Yeah.
meet them. I never get to interact with them. For me, it comes from lots of years of working with Ali, since the beginning of their run, really. And I've done a lot of mixes for them, but I think over the years it's evolved, and they've given me tidbits and things here, but they also really like trust me and let me kind of do my thing on the music, and don't really micromanage me, they or steer me. They just say, hey, our vibe, go nuts. And that makes me feel really free to like try things and do experiment and do something crazy. And if they say they don't like it, I'll take it out. So I always really appreciate that. And I've worked with Jake, not just at Cheersport, but at other gyms. So he and I work together in a lot of different capacities, teams that he choreographs with, teams that he's coached in the past, World Cup, and so on. So we've got a great working relationship. So when he stepped into Great Whites, it just we just kind of picked up where we left off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of playing into creative freedom, there was such a powerful switch from the rest of the mix, and then it really turns into a super emotional pyramid song. Can you guys kind of tell me the idea or maybe purpose behind that choice?
Yeah, I think from the very beginning, when we first started Great Whites, way back, when I started doing their music, like that was one of the trademark things, and signature parts of their routine. They always, if you remember, they always used to end in pyramid because they felt like one of their strongest elements. So they wanted that to be the very last thing that they did, and they would end at the top of the pyramid. And it was always really important to kind of select or create that iconic sound, that they're known for. So no matter whether the team is co-ed or all girl, like for me, it wasn't going to be a Great Whites mix unless we switched right when we got to the pyramid, and immediately went emotion. So when it switched, my composer and I, we were like, all right, cool, we're going to go directly into the key of the song, and we're just going to drop like a couple of drippy piano notes, so that it's like an immediate change from like insane, going nuts, hardcore, to pull on the heartstrings. And then the words just came from knowing the brand, and knowing their legacy, and what I think it speaks to the fact that whether they're all girl or whether they're co-ed, whatever they are, whatever division they are, like they're the top shark, they're the heart of the sea, and and they wear it on their sleeve.
Yeah, for me, it was honestly so important. The lyrics leading into the pyramid are, there's a shift in the tide, but history is on our side. And, when we made this announcement that we were going to go co-ed and make this change, we got a lot of input from veterans and kids who had been on the team for 15 years. And this is such an important legacy to them, and also to Al and the people who, came before us. So it was so important that we, although there's kind of a changing of the guard happening, it's still super important to me. Obviously, Al's one of my best friends, and this is her legacy. And I'm obviously so lucky and appreciative that she trusts me. But I didn't want to steer too far from what it's been, because it's been so legendary and so great. And it really means a lot to the old kids who have been in this program for so long. So I didn't really want to change it too much. So when we were talking about it, I was like, that can't change. That that's always been their thing, and it's been something that makes the team and the tradition of the team so special. So I love that piece leading into the pyramid, and then just the ballad of it. It's it just gets so emotional, and for the kids, it is so emotional. They put everything they have, and they sacrifice a lot in their lives, and we have 7 or 8 kids who have moved from different continents to be on this team, and for me, it's so important for them to be able to have that emotion and that pride in what we're doing. So the music just goes so perfect for what we're doing. So it means a lot, and it was great.
Yeah, I love how it all ties in together for sure. And what do you want fans to feel? I know this is kind of a new era, but what do you I like you said the pyramid's gonna tie it all back together. So what do you want fans and maybe other athletes to feel while they're watching this pyramid?
I want the fans, when you're a true fan, you never really leave that fandom. You are supporting that sports team or that person, whoever that may be, through their ups and downs. And we've had, the last 2 seasons, we've just barely missed the mark. And so, I'm really actually so excited for people to see this. And I want the fans to feel a little bit of pride, honestly, and this team and how hard we've worked. To really get back to where we need to be. And honestly, even people who don't know who Great Whites are, I want anyone to be able to sit in a crowd and watch this routine and listen to this music and just be inspired, like I was when I was 12 and I first went to Worlds and got to watch these crazy teams, Great Whites being one of them, and it's just, I want them to be inspired, and the music hits it so perfect. And I think the routine is just really, really special this year. So yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, I love that. I guess when you first heard the seasons mixed, what was your instant reaction?
Okay, so funny story. My kids laughed at me. So I was in the airport, and in true Patrick fashion, I wasn't expecting the mix yet. He was like a week early, which he loves to do sometimes. So I was honestly so excited when he texted me the night before, and he was like, "Tomorrow's the day," and I was like, "Oh my God." So I didn't sleep at all, and I had a really early flight. I was heading out to Ottawa, and I got the mix while I was in the airport at my gate. And I mean, honestly, it's just like the most exciting part of the year, because it just means so much. It's that's when it all comes together, and it was just so perfect, like I remember opening it and listening to it, and I had my headphones on, and I'm sitting at the gate, and I opened it, and I immediately had to get up and start walking around because I can't sit still. And I remember listening to like the very first opening line, and the part about now there's boys in the Sharkhood, and I was like, oh my God, this is so sick. Like it was just so perfect. Like every piece of the music, it was like I honestly have not listened to a mix in my career as a coach so far and felt so connected to it, and it's be so personal to me. So I listened to it probably for an hour and a half waiting for my flight on repeat. And I remember I didn't text Patrick immediately because I had to listen to it like, 10 to 35 times. And when it got to the music, I was like just so invested and so in the zone. And then it finished, and I was like, oh my God, wait, go back. So I rewinded it and I listened to it again. And I was sitting in my seat actually by this time, and there was an older lady sitting next to me, and I started crying, honestly, just because like, that's how great the mix is, and like that's what this means to us and our kids and our program, and this moment that we're kind of this shift that we're going through. And I started crying a little bit, and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she was like, "Honey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I'm fine, I promise." So I actually had to get up because I felt so awkward because people were looking at me. Yeah, and then I started to text Patrick, and I was just like, just all I could say was thank you. Like, it's just so perfect. It's what our kids deserve, and he like never misses a beat, man. It's when you have it, you have it, and he just knows how to get it done and how to make it come to life. And yeah, I could not have been more happy about it. It was awesome. I loved it.
Also, he texted me and told me that he was bawling.
I did, yeah, I did. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed in the airport.
That's why I was
Hey,
laughing.
that's a good thing
Me too.
though. That means hopefully everyone else will too.
Yeah, I really do. I really do believe that. I think when people see this, and I think our work and our passion will show in the routine this coming weekend, and the music just amplifies that, and it's man, it's going to be so great. It's I always tell the kids like the best thing in the world to watch if you're a fan of our sport and what we do, and I always tell them the best thing in the world to watch is beautiful cheerleading, and this music really kind of is the last piece of the puzzle, and I'm just so excited. It's just so fun. This whole situation and the whole experience, and the music just amplified that and made it so much better. So we're just so grateful. We are, our kids are. So
Yeah, for sure. So if you could describe this year, this mix, this routine in one word, what would you guys describe it as?
oh my gosh, Patrick.
I mean, I would just say like in one word, right? Right. I think the easy one and the one that pops to my mind for me is just legacy, right? Like they have such a strong history and powerful presence in the cheerleading community. Also, they're very well thought of and well respected, not just for how talented they are, but also how they go about their business and the brand that they've built. And I think, even though that there's change in the waters, so to speak, the legacy is going to continue.
I think honestly, when I think of the routine, I just like there will be times when I come home from practice and just watch videos for like hours and on, and um, I'm just in awe of our kids, honestly, and what they're doing. Obviously, we always love to push the envelope with difficulty and on top of execution. But honestly, this year's routine is so powerful. When I watch it, I just get this great sense of pride. Like I feel like we're really doing it, and I feel like we are doing the right things, and we put together the right group of young people who are so passionate and just love what they do, and it's just such a different vibe, and it's been so great. So honestly, when I watch it, it's just so powerful, and I love the presence that our kids have, and I'm really excited for everyone to see.
Is powerful your one word? Because
Yeah, I think
you hit with a
powerful.
lot of words there.
Yeah, sorry. I
Powerful,
think yeah,
present,
that was it's hard. It's hard to
passionate.
describe in one word.
Hey, legacy and powerful. I think that's great. So there, you guys have new division, brand new team, but a great mix to go along with it that really ties it all together. What do you want fans to know? What can fans expect when you guys hit the mat for the first time?
I'm honestly just excited for everyone to see what we've been working on, and I think when they see our routine and see the way that we present it, I hope they understand how much love and passion goes into this. Like this group of young kids that we put together, not kids, young adults. Um, I always hate saying this, but it's honestly one of my favorite groups that I've ever been able to put together and to coach. And I really hope that when people see this routine and watch us compete, that they can feel that, and they see the passion and love that our kids are putting into this routine and into our craft. So yeah, I just want them to be excited and to be happy for our kids and be supportive and also have that sense of pride. Like, if you're a real fan, I think we're gonna make you guys happy, and I hope we make you proud, and um, I hope you love our kids and our team and our routine as much as we do.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. And I wish Great White Sharks the best of luck, and I can't wait to see their full routine with music.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.